everybody. Welcome to the Bison video blog on this Monday. North Dakota State ready for its home opener on Saturday as they'll welcome in Southeast Missouri State. The Redhawks, a first-time opponent inside the Fargo Dome, coming up for this home opener with Jeff Kolpack. I'm Dom Izzo. North Dakota State 2-0. Outscored its first two opponents 97-3. So welcome to Nitpick Central here on a Monday, Jeffrey. But this has been two dominant performances to start the year.
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to all the people I ran into in Nashville who liked this
all
video
right,
blog.
let's go.
Yeah.
We appreciate
and
that.
So
Thank you.
More you than me, but I appreciate that. These first two opponents. This is where we're at in FCS scheduling. I mean, no FBS teams will play that. We've thrown that story into the wall ad nauseum, and now FCS programs. I think as we go on, and we talked about it on your Hot Mic show, that as we move forward here in scheduling, I don't know if anybody is going to schedule NDSU other than the Montana States and the really good teams at FCS. You know, all these teams that like Tennessee State, we want to measure against the best to play the best. Well, that's kind of wearing a little old, isn't it? And when 59-3 happens all the time.
That did not work out. What were your overall impressions of the fan turnout, going to the game and getting a spot like Nashville? That was a treat for the fans to go. It was more of the Friday night, I think, than it was the actual football game on Saturday.
There was 5,000 fans there. The announced attendance was 8,500, but that was not right.
Way.
The turnstile count was 5,000. I would say 4,700 of those were NDSU fans. I mean, there was just you could count the number of blue jerseys, one by one. And so I think it was a better opponent. More people would have gone. I mean, people know they saw Tennessee State last year, and they're saying, and I think the theory is, well, if you're going to go once, we're going to gamble that they're going to make it
in January.
And then because it's not cheap in Nashville either, and so I just think that's if it was a good opponent, if it was like Vanderbilt, there would have been double the crowd or somebody like that. But it's Tennessee State.
Let's describe how this team played. I mean, offensively, they went out, made a statement. Barika Penu's been really good. You mentioned we got to give some more love for what Cole Payton has done in his first two games at quarterback, but just they have been dominant. They really have.
Solid.
And just really impressive in the first two games.
Solid. And credit to the coaching staff for getting this team ready to play against opponents. So these guys watch film all week. I mean, we just see little highlights here. These guys are studying these opponents, and they see they're not good. But for them to get up and play as well as they have the first two games against inferior opponents, that says a lot about the coaching staff and how they prepare this team.
There's a guy we should maybe talk a little bit more about, DJ Scott, because his first two games, and you mentioned this on Bison Game Day on Saturday, that what Kennesaw State didn't see in him.
I don't know.
I'm right there with you because he's looked awfully impressive so far for what he's been able to do on the ground.
Well, he breaks tackles, and that's what West Coast offense, that's what you want in a running back. You have to get yards after contact, and I'm still waiting for a back to break one now. I mean, I haven't seen the 60-yard burst up the middle in Gonzo. Maybe teams are stacking the line of scrimmage a little more because they're saying, okay, Cole Payton, we haven't seen you throw, so let's just maybe concentrate on the run more. But I'm still waiting for the big burst up the middle, but they're powerful. Look at this. I mean, just carrying guys.
Which we did not see that till later in the season. That was we've seen that it's been almost a carbon copy in the first two games of moving the pile forward with its running backs, which, again, 97-3. It's hard to find. I'm sure Tim Polisic's trying to do that with his team right now.
Well, maybe the O-line. Do we know? Are we?
I think there's still work there. But
I think there's honestly, a work in progress is what we're seeing.
Yeah, and you saw more guys play up front, but I think the group, they started the second straight week. Tossed was the starter at left guard. MP was at right guard. Do not be surprised, though, if this season moves along and you see 62 playing right tackle. I think there is a distinct possibility that MP might be their most valuable lineman right now.
Yeah, but you said he's too short to play right tackle.
Well,
and Tim Polisik looked right at you and said, I don't care how tall he is.
But that's, honestly, to his point, though, MP is a former walk-on now. Look at that he's now 3 years in, he was a redshirt, that he might be their most valuable guy up front.
And really, what position would you have the least concern when you look at North Dakota State? It's the offensive line. They plug and play. They've been doing that forever, it seems like, ever since Billy Turner started as a true freshman. There's bringing guys, developing guys, and I just don't think you should ring any alarm bell if there's one position
Yeah.
at NDSU.
You want to give some love to what the linebackers have done? I mean, I know you wrote about
Pretty
Donovan
good.
Woolen on Saturday,
Yeah.
but boy, that group has been awfully impressive to start too.
And we thought they would be
Yeah.
too. I mean, I think
Yep.
Nathaniel Staling has been real good and real solid in his first year as a starter. 238 pounds is he? And Donovan Woolen is long. Don't forget about Ray James. He's coming up too.
Yep.
I mean, he's long and rangy. And we haven't even mentioned Logan Kopp,
Copp's
who's
just
a
out there
first-team
just doing his
preseason
stuff,
All-American.
right? Big week coming up, by the way. He's getting married in a week, so the things are percolating there for Logan. There's one group we haven't talked about, simply because the cornerbacks the Bison have played have been terrible, is the secondary.
Yeah.
We haven't said a word about the corners and safeties because they haven't been challenged yet.
Well, is this a good time to get into Southeast Missouri State?
Go for
Because finally, the Bison finally are going to see a guy who could throw the rock, Jax Leatherwood. 6'8", he was a San Diego.
Say that again.
6'8".
6'8" quarterback is
Did I just
coming from
gloss through
SEMO.
that?
Holy cow.
Yeah, he was a San Diego Metro High School Player of the Year. He went to Nevada, didn't play, goes to a junior college, and now he's at Southeast Missouri State. Finally, we get to see a guy who can throw the rock. I mean, these first two guys, the Citadel, and Tennessee State
was the same way.
What's your way?
Yeah, it was just not good.
Just
Yeah.
awful. Just cannot throw the ball at all. So this guy is going to be a test. He's 47 to 69, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, almost 500 yards. Has spread the ball around.
He ran a rushing touchdown there Saturday against North Alabama. That's him. The camera's out of focus.
Out of focus. Yeah. Hope the camera guys aren't coming up with him. But he's throwing at least to 10 receivers have at least 2 receptions.
He looks all of 6'8" there when you see him on the sideline.
Who is the tall quarterbacks over the years?
Well,
the
Brady
Montana
Gustafson,
guy
Brady
was
Gustafson
6'7".
of Montana was 6'7", but he was like 200 pounds. This guy's 253. That's coming in here. That's Cam Pedro, one of their standout wide receivers, who's their leading receiver. They have a running back as well. Peyton Brown is the young man's name, who's one of the top players in the Ohio Valley Conference. His younger brother, Preston, is a freshman quarterback on the Bison football roster out of Hillsboro, Missouri. Yep. They made the postseason last year. They lost to Illinois State in the first round. Traditionally, this has been a pretty good football program. They
usually have some athletes.
Right.
And I think they have some athletes as we see this.
I think if you're looking for a competitive football game, this, I think, will be one, at least for a bit on Saturday.
Well, I think so, too. This is not Tennessee State. No. This is not the Citadel. This is a team that, again, brings in players in a pretty good part of the country for athletes. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the secondary actually get tested.
Yes.
I mean, there's just been
we've talked plenty about, we haven't said a word about Shadimi Alfaro. We haven't said a word about Jaquise Alexander. Taylor Needy we mentioned because he had a nice fumble recovery in the game on Saturday, but nothing on Jalen Crumby or Darius Gibbons or Ryan Jones.
You know, Shadimi Alfaro's highlight, I think, in the first 2 games, after the game at Tennessee State, he's taking his camera and going on the NFL stadium. That was about the most action he had in the first 2 games.
And that's the really intriguing part to me about how this is going to match up. Now, we have to say this, full disclosure, so people that watch don't have your eyes roll the back of your heads, but we got the banner going up on before the game. That'll be a big deal. And obviously, is the white out? Because the new jerseys are going to be the white jerseys.
You're not going to sleep Friday night, are you? You are going to be up all night just chomping at the bit at these white uniforms.
We'll be part of Bison Game Day dedicated to this, so our producer will have palpitations on it. But I'm excited to see it as well. And honestly, Jeff, after the first 2 games, what's the crowd going to be? Home openers over the last couple of years have not been sold out.
Well, I think 16, 17. I think
you hope so.
Yeah, I think that's what the crowd's going to be. It looks like that's what the ticket sales are, looking at the website. But I actually talked to a guy on Friday in Nashville who wore a white jersey in 1962.
Can we get our hands on that? Is there any possibility?
And I got another guy who's got the white jersey.
Oh, here we go. So there we go. So
you are going to love my stories this week.
Can we get that on set is what I need to know on Saturday.
I'm working on it. I'll work on it.
Fantastic. Don't forget, of course, Bison Game Day will join you live 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, back in the friendly confines of the Fargo Dome with myself, Jeff, Sam Getzinger, and Kyle Emanuel. And the game is back on WDAY this week.
Thank God.
2:30 for the game. Our kickoff show is at 2:20, maybe slightly before that. You will not miss the banner going up and the team coming out. Southeast Missouri State makes its debut in Fargo. Coverage all week long at Inforum.com with Jeff. We'll have stories all week on WDAY. That's this week's edition of the Bison Video Blog, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.